So, you're coming to Portugal and you would like to learn some very basics of Portuguese so that you can interact with locals, right? That's great. You have just come to the right place. If you don't know me yet, my name is Inês and I do all of these videos to help you learn Portuguese in a fun, relaxed way and always with Portuguese songs. This is actually a short version of the crash course that I have in Udemy, in which you can learn more than little basics we have here in this video. Now, before we get started, just a little piece of advice that can be precious, okay? Which is, if you are really willing to try to speak with people, just watch this video as many times as you can and also practice, of course. First, you listen because listening is very important so that you have the correct reference and so that you can also pronounce the words well. So, let's go to it. One of the very basics you need to know is how to say yes and no. In Portuguese, for yes, we say sim. Repeat after me. Sim. Sim. And for no, we say não. Repeat after me. Não. Não. Also, knowing how to say hello and goodbye is very, very basic. And in my crash course, you will find a more wide variety of expressions that you can use. But here we stick to the very basics. To say hello in an informal way, we say olá. Repeat after me. Olá. Olá. And to say goodbye in an informal way, we say ciao. Kind of like in Italian. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Ciao. Ciao. Now, if you want to say both hello and goodbye in a more formal way, all you have to do is say bom dia, boa tarde, or boa noite, accordingly to the time of the day. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Bom dia. Bom dia. Boa tarde. Boa tarde. Boa noite. Boa noite. Now, if you want to ask people how are they doing in an informal way, just ask tudo bem. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Tudo bem. Tudo bem. And if you want to do the same thing but in a more formal way, just say como está. Repeat after me. Como está. Como está. Now, I will be teaching you very basic social expressions that you can use in your interactions. If you want to say thank you to someone, and if you are a lady, you should say obrigada. Repeat after me. Obrigada. Obrigada. And if you are a man, you should say instead obrigado. Not a big difference from the previous one, just in the end of the word. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Obrigado. Obrigado. And as an answer, if someone tells you this, just say de nada. Repeat after me. De nada. De nada. If you want to ask for something good to add to your request will be se faz favor. Repeat after me. Se faz favor. Se faz favor. Now, if you ask me if can you use por favor, I will tell you yes, sim. But we don't use it a lot. It actually makes you sound like you are begging. And, you know, Portuguese people, we are not really beggars. If you bump into someone and you want to say you are sorry, just say desculpe. Repeat after me. Desculpe. Desculpe. Now, this word, desculpe, can also be used as excuse me when you want to have someone's attention. So it's like, in this case, it's like, excuse me. This is something that we'll be going back to further in this video. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe so that you receive all the news. Now, if you are in a crowded place and you want to pass between people, what should you say? It's not desculpe. In this specific case, we say com licença. Shall we practice? Repeat after me. Com licença. Com licença. Now, if you want to start a little conversation with Portuguese people, something good to do is to introduce yourself. You can start by saying your name, and in Portuguese, to say our name, we have a very simple way, which is using chamo-me followed by your name. So if I want to introduce myself in Portuguese by saying my name, I will simply say chamo-me Inês. Let's practice. I will say my name and then I will ask you. Chamo-me Inês. E tu? Good. Now, imagine that there is a certain place you want to go to and you don't know where it is. So you are going to ask someone. Of course, you can search the net, but I think it's much more fun if you ask someone, right? So here we start with desculpe, which in this case works exactly as excuse me, because here you are going to ask for some information. Next, you will add onde é, meaning where is. And for example, imagine you want to ask where is the pharmacy. So in this case, it will be something like, repeat after me, desculpe, onde é a farmácia? Desculpe, onde é a farmácia? Now, you are hungry and thirsty and you want to go to a café. Let's learn some basic ordering. A very basic way is by saying quero, which means I want. Let's practice. Quero. Quero. Now, you want to ask for a custard tart, which in Portuguese is, in case you don't know, pastel de nata. And how do you say please? Exactly. Se faz favor. Now let's put this together. Repeat after me. Quero pastel de nata, se faz favor. Quero pastel de nata, se faz favor. Now, as you can imagine, in my crash course, this comes with much more details and vocabulary and practical exercises. It's really worth it. And we're done for today. You want to learn more? Go to the link in the description. Have fun and see you next time. Ciao!